Hello and welcome. Welcome to this episode of Daily Soul Bytes. I am your host, Bola Abimbola. This is the show where we interview our expert authors and coaches and entrepreneurs to share their insights for the expansion of collective consciousness. And today I have a very special returning guest, Bryon Smith. Welcome, Lute.
Yes, thank you very much for that introduction, and thank you for having me here once again. I am so thankful for our time and being connected with you. I'm thankful.
Thank you, Lou. Thank you. So am I. I'm thankful for you too. And I'm going to read a bit of your bio before we start again. Bryon Smith is a life coach, a motivational speaker, a thought leader, a philosopher, a self-empowerment music artist, the founder of Enlightened Empowered Evolved LLC, and the host of Enlightened Empowered Evolved podcast. Lute is Luke's intention is to, with regards to his podcast and music, is to enlighten, educate, inspire, and empower people through not only his own perspectives, but through the perspectives of others who are elevating themselves as well. That is so powerful. And I love the fact
Thank you.
that, Luke, you are looking at enlightenment and how this is something that is empowering all areas of your life. And I really wanted us to do a follow on from the previous episode because this is the second episode. The first episode we did was about the steps to enlightenment. When do
Right,
we
right,
begin to align ourselves to light, to the more positive aspects of life, the higher frequencies of love?
right,
And so, if
right.
anyone wants to check that out, that's definitely on on the YouTube channel, and I'll also put a link to it to this video. This
Absolutely.
particular episode is the next steps after we have become enlightened, which is where we are we have chosen to align to light, and it's a journey. And then we begin to
Right.
see the impact of our choices in every area of our life. And I wanted you today, Lud, to share with us the impact of enlightenment, of being on that journey of enlightenment in the areas of your life. Please share that with us.
Right, right. Thank you, Bola. Yes, that's an amazing question, query. And from my perspective, I feel like this. Once you start deep diving into enlightenment, which means that you seek things on purpose. You are educating yourself on purpose. You are basically taking responsibility for everything that happens to you, and you're looking inward instead of outward. Not, and that's not saying that things can't happen to us. Like we feel like that we've been pulled over by a policeman for no reason, or someone says something negative to us and we haven't said anything to them to merit such a thing. But I do believe that everything is connected and the universe is orderly. God is orderly, and which means that there are consequences to our actions. And what I mean by consequences is everything that we do in life, taking meticulous steps, everything that we do, there's something that comes back to us to reflect what we've done. What I can say is that just being aware and being aware of that those things can happen, and that every move that we make, not saying you have to go through life scared, but if you're living a life that you're genuinely, you said this too, Bola, using the foundation of love, then I believe that life will flow a lot better.
Mm,
And I have to remind myself in any given moment, is what I'm thinking about right now, what I'm doing, what I'm about to say, or what I said, is that connected? Does that resonate with the foundation of love? And I'm not talking about what anybody else has done at that particular moment or what you feel. I'm talking about holding yourself accountable for what you're about to say, how you're about to respond and or react. So back to what you were saying, your question, in regard to enlightenment, once you get there, I don't think you ever really just get there. Once you do cross that threshold where you're saying, now I'm enlightening myself, which means that's another term for awakening.
Mm.
It's a process in a constant unfoldment and journey. But the prime thing, the most important thing, is being aware now and taking responsibility for your own feelings, your own actions, your own words, your own emotions, and knowing. And I'm not trying to lecture anyone, because I'm talking to myself as well. This helps to reaffirm this to me, knowing that no matter what someone else does, what outside circumstances occur, it still has to go into you still have to take that in through your ears, your eyes, your feelings, and interpret it how you're going to feel, how you're going to react. So nothing automatically makes you do or feel or say anything contrary to what I used to believe. And that would be one of my statements that I used to say to people: "Oh, you make me feel like this." No, I chose to feel like that, because if someone's intentions aren't to the utmost uh, positive for us, if their intentions aren't positive for us, then you have the right to disconnect and to really block and not take that in, and to not let it affect you. And I know it can sound easier said than done. Depends on how your mindset is, because it's all a mindset. Because for some people it is easy, and I've witnessed that. I've been able to witness both sides of the spectrum. Those who are very sensitive, and anything that's said to them negatively, it causes them to have a trauma response, or react negatively, or to become upset. And then I've been around people that no matter what you say to them, if it's not in alignment with what they believe or what they about themselves,
Mm.
they have little to no reaction at all.
Mm.
And you can tell they're not even trying. It just doesn't affect them. They have cultivated that type of mindset. So, as I was saying, even prior to this segment with Bola, that everything is about perspective. And even within enlightenment and information that enlighten us, people that enlighten us, it has to resonate with your being in your soul, because what I may feel that enlightens me may not be the same for you. And
Mm.
that's one thing I like to pride myself on, is not the information that I share, that it's not law for everybody. I'm just sharing from my perspective, and my intentions are love, my intentions are growth, my intentions are to elevate and expand. And I heard this quote from Bruce Lee, and it said that anything that happens, anything that you hear, accept what you feel is useful and discard what you feel is not. Simple as that.
Mm.
Which means that I can listen to people and not agree with everything they say. And it does not mean that I'm not going to listen to them anymore.
Mm.
Because if the information they're sharing to me is mostly useful to me, then I'm going to keep aligning myself with that person. And it does, like I said, it does not mean that every single thing that they think and say has to be in alignment with me. And I'm not going to look for purposely something that I don't like about what they're saying. I'm too busy focusing on the good.
Mm.
So yeah, that's just part of my journey. And as you were saying too, Bola, it's not that I don't experience any adversities, that I don't experience anything that may knock me off balance, but because of my deliberate working on myself, I'll put that in, it's just simple
Mm.
context, working on myself every day, I'm able to tap my own self on the shoulder and say, hey, is this a good feeling? What is that going to do? Was that a good thing to say? How is that going to improve anything? I'm able to self-reflect quickly and then
Mm.
apply the tools that I am learning, or that I've learned quickly, to get
Mm.
myself back up towards my highest self. And that's the key right there, because I believe and I know that life is contrast, and everything is relevant to something else. Dark is relevant to light. You know, you appreciate when you go through things, it shapes you and you appreciate it. When you're thirsty, you appreciate water more. When you're hungry, you appreciate food more. So what I'm saying is that even within the negativity, there's growth in that, depending on how you look at it. You know, you can look at it. Yes, it can be hard at that time, but there's some kind of lesson that you can get out of it. I tell you that much. But I do believe that our mindsets, our emotions, the way that we project ourselves does have a lot to do with diseases. I'm not trying to blame, but I am learning that. And you know what kind of stuff we're consuming, what type of environment we're in, what we're breathing in on a regular basis. But I don't have the answers as to, okay, why this happened to me and what lesson. I'm not, you know, somebody else probably could give you an answer on all of that, but I do know what resonates more with me, with peace, harmony, and balance with me. And then I feel it's my duty to share that.
Well, thank you so much, Lute. Because I want to pick up on something that you said about spiritual awakening and enlightenment.
Right.
Because my perspective is very similar to yours. That spiritual awakening, really, this is when we come to fully realize that there is a difference between us as the physical ego self and spirit beings. We
Right.
actually awaken to the
Wow.
spirit being that we are.
Wow.
But there's still a need for us to align even more to light consciously. So after spiritual awakening, I have found with myself and with my clients that there is still a lot of work we need to do to really align to light. So, whatever modalities we want to use, whether it's psychology or reading or therapy or light or sound, whatever modality works with us, there is certainly a difference between spiritual awakening and that moment of enlightenment. And when I say moment, it's when we have come to that very sharp clarity, crystal clarity, that there is no other approach but light, and that we're going to decide every single moment as much as possible to have that foundation of light and love. And that is a different place because you can be spiritual awakened and still be very much enthused and embroiled in that drama and in the shadow. And that's okay. I feel that's okay to be embroiled in in that shadow, but with an intention to align to light when
Right.
we can, if we choose, because this is about choices. Everyone has come to explore their different themes. And I know that many people will resonate with that crystal clarity to really be on a daily basis, on a moment by moment basis, be determined to align to light and love. My
Right.
thoughts, my visions, my actions, to make sure as much as possible to find the meaning, let it go, and move on in light, in love. This, I think, is what enlightenment is really about, and it's a journey because we get into higher and higher levels of love, levels of light. And I really wanted to demonstrate today, highlight today, if for examples of how our lives change when we begin to have this crystal clarity around love and light, around that journey. Because every single thing we get involved in, whether it's our social life, whether it's our personal well-being, whether it's our business, whether it's our community involvement, our children, we begin to see how the fact that we are permeating and embedding our perspectives in light and love, how those areas of our lives begin to transform. An example is your podcast. I would love to know, really, because I see it's very obvious how your podcast is thriving really beautifully, and it's it's being very well received. And the information that is shared there is being guided, and it's really powerful, really powerful. I really
Right.
commend you for your Enlightened Empowered Evolved podcast. I would
Thank you.
love
Thank you.
you to share how you have been guided and how your higher self has driven you, how your podcast is where it is today.
Right. Right. I feel, I know that by, and it connects with what you were speaking about, how your life changes when you're aligning with love and your spirit enlightenment, knowing that you're a spiritual being having a human experience. This is an avatar, so to speak. Our spirit lives on.
Mm,
And I feel that when I connect, since I've connected deeply within my own spirit, within the universe, God within me, that, like you said, you mentioned earlier, things start to align. And so that natural desire, intentions to connect with what I like to call my tribe, which means that just because a person looks like me or may be my same color or even come from my same place or background does not mean necessarily that they're my tribe. My tribe can look like anyone.
mm,
It's we're resonating on the same or similar frequencies. That's my tribe.
mm,
We're not saying we know everything because we're teaching each other things that maybe we're not aware of, but I would consider you, I do consider you, Bola, my tribe,
yeah.
even though we are of similar ethnicity. But even if you weren't, because of your spirit, because of what you project, because of the energy that I get from you, because of the frequency that you're on, you would be my tribe nonetheless. And that's just amazing. I want everybody to think about that. The podcast has being in that space has caused me to want to just talk to people, to engage with people, to engage in dialogues over and over. And I'm already a natural person that just loves to talk. So what better way than to make use of that natural thing, natural talent, natural habit of speaking. And I often feel that I when I do speak, it's because I have something to say, something of value. Maybe not everyone may think that, but that's fine. That's not my really concern. And not to sound negative at all, but my concern is my intentions of what I'm intending to do. And what better way than to have a talk show? And I was guided, especially not saying that society or YouTube didn't give me that idea. Yeah, because podcasts have become popular, but my intentions aren't to just mimic someone else and to have a podcast like this person. I want my own unique thing. And if it's not authentic, if it's not unique to you, who you are, then I don't think that it will resonate with not only yourself but other people, because people can really tell if you're being your authentic self. I try to be as transparent as possible and show people who I really am, especially in this realm of growth and enlightenment. This is what I really do. I really do read every day for a couple of hours. I really do write affirmations and express gratitude daily and in the evening before I go to bed. I really do, when I catch myself thinking something negative, offset it with focusing on something positive or being thankful, expressing gratitude, even if it's something as small as, and it's not small, but just something that we do every day, like being able to move my fingers. Just, oh, I just look down at my fingers. Thank you. I'm able to grab things with my hands. Thank you. I'm able to blink. I'm able to see. I'm able to hear. I'm able to breathe automatically without even trying. But back to what you were saying, is that's one of the reasons why the podcast has resonates with me so much. Is I love meeting my tribe, which just means people that have similar experiences, similar journeys. And I say similar because we all have different journeys, but similar, when I say that, I mean reaching towards our higher self at
Mm,
any given moment. And that means even falling down. That even means being off your game sometimes. That means even maybe at that particular moment you aren't reaching towards your higher self, but you do have enough awareness to know to get back on that
mm,
path. So I think highlighting my tribe and highlighting amazing spiritual beings that are on that journey, that are enlightening, empowering, and evolving themselves and other people in some way. It could be it's that covers so many different things. Some
mm,
people could be focused on helping people mentally, some emotionally, some spiritually, some all the above, some physically, some elevating, a specialty in hypnotherapy, and breath control, and
mm,
lungs, and it just covers so many things. But the main objective, the main intention I have when doing my podcast is to just connect with those whose intentions are to reach towards their higher self and to help others do the same and to
mm,
inspire others to do the same. Because I've said this before, I consider myself a leader, but a leader to myself. But it's a leader that wants to create other leaders. Like I mentioned to you, Bola, I'm never in competition with anyone. Yes, I want monetary compensation. Yes, I do, but I don't think the way I don't resonate with trying to step on anyone else or trying to keep any information from anyone else so that they won't know what I know, because I believe the universe, God is abundant, and there's enough to share with everyone. And what's authentically meant to be will be, no matter what. And I'll put it quite simply: what God has planned for you, what the universe has planned for you, no one can stop. And
mm,
so it doesn't matter if I share, oh, you sharing all your stuff of how you, doesn't matter. I don't think that way. That's a scarcity mindset to me. Now,
mm,
some things that you're working on privately, like, okay, if I'm writing a book, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, hey, everybody, this is everything that I'm putting in the book. No, I'll say you'll see when it comes out. But things like that are public, like, hey, how can I help this platform to grow? What are some of the things you do? I'll share it just like that. I won't say, well, this has helped me and I don't want them to. No, I want everyone to expand and grow. And if I ever even come across the thought where even for a second that contradicts that, I'll have to pinch myself and check myself and say, no, 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 Luke, that's not how we think here.
mm.
Yes. So yes,
That's powerful. That's
yes,
powerful. And I can hear all the intentions. But I think it's
right,
important for me to point out
right, right,
that the crystal clarity of your intentions around this
right,
is very evident.
right,
You have a powerful bundle, not one, not two, not three, not four, a bundle of intentions that are all embedded in love and light, in sharing, in expansion, in connection, from a place of light, from a place of love. And I noticed that just by listening to you now. There's a
thank you,
bundle of intentions, and those intentions are powerful, and they become wave form, and they tend to connect and attract something in that reality that you're projecting. And I would
right,
love to hear, because we have to start from our intentions. Once we are enlightened beings, we're empowered beings, we have a bundle of intentions. What happens with those intentions? I would love you to share how the podcast has grown and how you have been guided to build it and grow it to this point.
Right. Or I know it grows, especially the more people I keep talking to. And I'll give people insight. A lot of people ask me, how do you get all these guests, Luke? I'm going to tell you exactly how I do it. Exactly how I do it. Let's start right there. How do you get all these guests, Luke? Because especially people from the past that hasn't quite gotten used to me being who I am today, I've evolved. They may not have been around me for years, and now they see me doing this podcast, and then all of a sudden because from my perspective, when we meet someone at a certain point in life, we freeze them to that
Mm,
space and
mm,
think that's who they still are. You know what I
mhm,
mean? I mean, even
mhm.
though we all are intended to grow and evolve, some don't. Some pride themselves of never changing. I don't change. I don't switch up. This is me. That's fine. That's your
Yeah,
journey. I'm
yeah.
not criticizing that, but that's not good for me. I look at the
That's
way
it.
just life is. I look at the way that the universe is, nature is, constantly changing, evolving,
It
growing.
is.
Yes. So I align myself with that. And and my intentions are to help others do the same, or to enlighten and share information that can help them do the same and empower themselves, not get power from me, but
Mhm, mm,
empower themselves from their own power,
mm,
to shine light on their own unique power. But back to the question, how do you get all these guests? To start, YouTube is how I got most of my guests thus far. Which means that I sit daily, almost daily, and I go through profiles. I'll send out friend requests to people that I kind of look at their little write up, and if it has something to do with spirituality or something that resonates with me, then I'll send them a message asking them if they would like to be on my podcast and give them my link. And I do that constantly. Now, fast forward. Now it's taken a while, but fast forward, and I'm just giving you guys the summary.
mm,
You know, now I have a lot of people reaching out to me as well, and I still do the same thing. Like, you get those in your friend those friend suggestions. I go through them and I
mm,
look at them. I click on each one and I look. And I go down there, their thing. Okay, I'm a life coach. I do this, this is okay. And then I'll go down and read a little bit more. So I take time. And
mm,
that's how I found Bola.
mm,
You were connected to somebody I was already friends with. I looked at your page, took about 3-4 minutes looking at your page, sent you a friend request, then sent you a message. Would you like to be on this show? And for the most part, 99.9%, it works out perfectly. Sometimes you'll run across maybe somebody that you probably shouldn't, or they aren't a good fit, but usually the universe disconnects that before you even get that far.
mm,
And I have a lot of trust in the universe and God and my intuition, my spiritual self. So, I'll look at their picture, and they could be any color, any ethnicity, and something about their picture could just not offset me a little bit, and I'll just keep going.
mm,
Not saying that I'm judgmental, like, oh, if they're not beautiful, if they're totally beautiful physically, if they're not, no, it has nothing to do with it. It could be a vibe that I just pick up, and it could be wrong, but I don't think so,
mm,
because I trust my intuition.
mm, mhm,
So that's how I've done it. Now I have people emailing me all the time. I want to be on your show, things like that. So that's how I started. Other than that, I create shorts for each segment that I do, and I post them on all my social media sites. So every show that I do, I'll get like a 1 minute. I'll create a 1 minute short from it and just post it up, everywhere.
Mm.
Advertising. I look for advertising. I used to advertise my video through Google, but that got really expensive. So now I found this specific advertisement that I work with, advertising YouTube platform called Sprizzy, Sprizzy. And if you look at it, it's very easy to use. You connect your channel to it, you connect your payment to it, and you can advertise each video. I advertise each video for as much as you want, or I think the minimum is like $30 or something like that. So it's basically I'm putting money into something, investing into
Mm.
myself, investing
Mm.
into my business. And
Mm.
that gets people out there. And what it will ask you is for similar channels that you feel are similar to yours, or channels that you're a fan of, and you
Mhm.
find all these positive, like in my particular situation, I've found, these channels with millions of subscribers that are like enlightenment channels and spiritual channels. And you put
Mm.
them all in there. And what they do is when you advertise your video, they advertise to all of their fans. So
Mm.
those similar people will see a commercial with your videos.
Mm.
So I'm willing to share that with everyone. And other than that, it's starting to grow organically as well. So
Mm.
yeah. But yeah, I invest basically in advertising, basically just like any other business.
Yes.
And some people don't have to, maybe they don't have to do that, or they don't want to do that. That's fine. I'm sharing with you what I do.
Mm. Oh, that's amazing. And this is about discernment. I
Right,
absolutely love the discernment that you use to select the guests that come
right,
on,
right,
to select the channels that your advert should go to. This is all about discernment because
right,
there are 7 billion people, and Facebook has a percentage of that that is the highest across social media. You
right,
actually using your discerning spirit to assess who should come on, who is connected to you, who should be
right,
connected to you. These are the effects of enlightenment, I
right,
feel. How
right,
our business, how we begin to become even more discerning, being led, because that's what discernment is, that higher self really giving us that information, guiding us. It could
right,
be because there are different ways we get information. It could be visual, it could be through audio, it could be through even a taste, gustatory. You could actually taste, suddenly that picture tastes sweet. You look at a picture
right,
and it goes, that tastes sweet. That is discernment.
right,
And a feeling, a knowing. These are the ways that enlightenment begin to, that enlightenment journey begins to flow with more ease, with more flow. And you said that now people are contacting you and it becomes much easier because you're in the flow. It's one thing
right,
to have our passion. It's one thing for us to take the steps. It's another thing for it to get easier and we
right.
feel we are in the flow.
That's just another barrier of the sorting out process. If someone looks at my message and does not want to be involved, that's fine. There is
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. But you can't allow that to stop you from doing what you feel like that you need to do just because of someone turning you down or someone
Hmm.
getting upset. That's not going to stop me because I've
Hmm.
had more benefit than none,
Yes.
doing that.
Yeah.
So I send
Yeah.
out messages and I try to be as thorough as I can in my message. And I said, if this is not something you're interested in, I apologize for interrupting you, or, but, kindly decline or ignore this. It's fine. But,
No, I think that's confidence. I think that's
yes,
confidence. That confidence is important. And you've got
right,
to be, I really think when we have a dream, we've got to be ready to stand out and push for it no matter what. That is so
exactly.
important. And stand up for yourself, to believe in yourself. And there are certain people that will not resonate with that, but that is okay. That is okay because sometimes when that happens, I think when that happens, when I get somebody not responding to an initiative that I have, it makes me pause. And then I remember why this is so important to me. Because sometimes
Absolutely.
I've taken it for granted. And it
Right.
makes me pause to go, so they do not want to be part of this. And then I
That's
have
fine.
to decide whether I'm going to allow myself to stop. But then I realized that there is a passion there. And then I said, oh, actually, I am passionate about this and nothing can stop me. This is unstoppable. And it reminds us, and it's a perspective because we can decide at any point in time to allow that experience to get us into the shadow and to
Mm,
dwell in that. Or we
mm.
can allow that experience, we can choose to allow that experience to get us higher into light. It
Wow.
is a choice. We are empowered beings. And
I,
we have to remember that with every single experience. And this is how I see setbacks. When I see a disappointment, it's a time for me to pause, to decide and discern just how determined or what direction I need to take this to now. It's just a pause. It's
right.
just a
Right.
pause.
Yes.
It's not meant to stop and it's not meant to send us back or backslide. So that's
Well,
really powerful.
well, see, it's happened to me so many times that it doesn't even um
It doesn't
it
feature as a pause
it
anymore.
doesn't even register anymore. Like I was in that stage that it would it would like, man, it would kind of bother me a little bit, but now it doesn't. I just keep going. I
Yeah.
focus on what is more than what isn't.
Yes.
So I focus
Yes.
on,
Yes.
what is. And not saying I give any negative energy or any disappointing energy to the people that don't want to. No, it's nothing. It's like actually positive energy. Okay, bless them. Next, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
bless them.
Honestly,
Hope they're
that is,
successful on their journey. Hope
yeah.
whatever they do is very powerful. Wow, and okay, next. Who's in my energy field? Who's in my experience? That's what I'm focused on because I believe that I know that everyone that is drawn to me on purpose, and it's a higher power that's doing
Yes.
so. So when I think about it like that this isn't really my plan, really, this is the universe's plan for me, this is God's plan for me, then and it's perfectly orchestrated. When I think along those lines, then I have a smile on my face, no matter even if someone sends a terrible message. And I have to say it because it has happened before. Like, quit bothering me. I don't want to be part of your. That's fine.
I will
I'm
tell
not
you
laughing at
this.
them. I'm not laughing at them. What I'm laughing is at the I feel it's a test. Okay, how are you going to react to this, Luke? I'm not.
Yes. Actually, Lute, I will tell you this. When I got your email, your message to be on your show,
Right.
I had season one of my show in 2021 and
Right.
I stopped. I went into burnout. I had 50 episodes and I decided I was going to stop. So I hadn't done any episodes since then. When I got your message asking me to come on your show, I had been having inclinations to actually start again, but I had not done anything about it. I hadn't actually, um, checked my podcasting equipment again to see what I need to get. I hadn't decided exactly what I was going to do because I was focusing on my book.
Right.
Um, and it was on your show that I got inspired. That that very first episode, that episode with you was the very first time of me coming back to be interviewed, to have anything to do with podcasts, and it inspired me.
I'm
This is one of the impact of your show, and Enlightenment, Empowered, Evolved. This is one of the impact. I am one of those people that you inspired to come back, and now I've got the Daily Soul Bites show back on, and I'm on the 10th, 11th episode. So this is it. This is it. And you also have the t-shirts, the branded merchandise, which inspired me to get mine.
Look, you can see this.
Yes, yes, yes. I think I've got my cup somewhere. Yes, yes. Beautiful. Absolutely. This is it. This is passion. This
You
is
see,
passion.
that's what I was talking about, Bola. Anything that I do, I don't look at it as, oh, they're doing. And the reason why I'm saying this, because I've heard other people put that type of energy out there. And not saying that they won't be successful, but I don't think that's my way to success. I want to hear stories like this, uh, where someone says that I inspired them, because
Yeah,
that doesn't make me have a bigger head than I already physically have. Which means I'm thankful that the universe used me to
yeah,
inspire you. That's where I am. I'm thankful that my spirit, my intentions were able to inspire you, because I got those intentions from, you know, from God, from the universe.
yeah.
And so, and because we're
Beautiful.
all connected to part of the universe, we're all part of God. And that's where I got those intentions. That's where I get those resonating, peaceful, balanced, harmonious intentions. And through that, that's what my intention is, to inspire other people in ways. And this is just one of the ways. And I'm so thankful that you're making that transparent here. Yes, yes. That's what I feel like. That's the type of friendships and sister and brotherhood that I like to build, is that
Yeah,
we inspire each other to be better. Like
yeah.
and you inspired me to start getting down and writing my book. So I didn't tell you that, but see, you inspired that, because I read your book and I'm like, man, I need to get on the ball. Even if it's just a short book. Your book was short, but very powerful and very
Yeah.
necessary. And I got to start writing something. Quit putting it off and say, oh, I'll do it then. No, do it. Start now. Start now. Even if it's just a page, even if I just write a page every month, start now. And just watching what you've done, and being a fan and connected with you, you inspired me as well. And that's what I think it's about.
It
We're
is.
inspiring each other, we're sharpening each other, we're enlightening each other,
Yes.
we're it's just amazing.
This is
So I
it.
appreciate you
I
mentioning.
appreciate you too, Luton. This is the ripple of love and light that continues to grow and share like a wave. It's powerful. And
Right,
this is really what this episode is about. And I'm really glad that we're able to share this.
right,
Because what we will then find as we continue on that journey of enlightenment is that we begin to make connections that feed us as we feed it. It's almost
right,
like the reflection becomes so powerful. And we will have that in so many different areas of our lives, in work, in our relationships, with our children, with my sons. I'm finding that I'm having wonderful relationships with my children, and it's beautiful. You feed, the relationships begin to feed each other. They grow you and you grow them. They inspire you and you inspire them. These is this is evident in every area of our lives as we continue to make that decision to get that bundle of intentions crystal clear. Why do I want to do this? Why is this important to me? Those bundles begin to um, deepen our sense of discernment so that we are guided in each of those things that we are intending become powerful light forces, and source listens and discerns. And this is what I wanted to share today. So thank you so much for this conversation. I
yes,
really
yes.
appreciate. Is
You're
there
welcome.
anything else you want to say about the impact of enlightenment in your life?
Just start. Get out your own way, calm yourself through just being alone, or through meditation, or through prayer, or whatever. Listen to yourself and take those steps of where you're source, as Bola mentioned, is guiding you to, because everyone has that. You have to connect. You have to shine a light on it. You have to not you have to, but I think that's what we're here for. I think we're here to align with our spirit and to, through that, find our purpose.
Mm.
And in finding your purpose, you also balance yourself. Your purpose isn't to just get rich. It's to do what you love doing. And through that, you'll be prospered. I
Yeah.
firmly believe that. I firmly know that, especially if you're in the service of others. Now,
Yeah.
if you look at everything even around you, tangible things, that they're all meant to serve people in some way, products that you see. So even Bola and I here talking, it's creating a product, which is, it might not be a tangible product, but it's a product that's meant to, in regard to spiritual, mental
Mm.
health.
Mhm.
And it's very important,
Mhm.
you know, because I'm a firm believer in this, because I've had this question posed to me before. You do a lot of talking, Luke, but what are you actually physically doing? What are you giving and all that? Yeah, I do give, and I do share, and I won't get into that aspect right now, but I'll say this, and I'm pretty sure people have heard this before. Give a person, a man or a woman, a fish, right? They'll eat for the day. But if you teach them, they'll eat for a lifetime.
Mhm.
So what I'm saying is that my intentions and what I'm sharing is intended to help people elevate so that they can have prosperity
Yeah.
in all areas of their life if they listen and then are guided towards their higher self, their highest self. They'll start living in alignment. And that's very important, because we often are not living in alignment with our spirit, with ourselves, with the source. And
Mm.
that's what causes a lot of problems
Mm.
and scarcity and poverty and just negativity,
Mm.
more, negativity
Mm.
than has to be. But
Mm.
so I feel like I'm a student and a teacher. So I
Mm.
learn what resonates with me and I share it.
Mm.
So learning it, I have to get back into my student mode, and then I share it, teacher mode. So
Mm.
I feel that's very relevant. And so you never underestimate the power of sharing information and talking, just because it's
Mm.
not something tangible and physical, or that I'm not throwing $1,000 out to someone. If you can teach
Mm.
somebody to have the right mindset, they can make that on their own. I have to get back into my student mode, and then I share it, teacher mode. So I
Mm.
feel that's very relevant. And so you never underestimate the power of sharing information and talking, just because it's
Mm.
not something tangible and physical, or that I'm not throwing $1,000 out to someone. If you can
Mm.
teach somebody to have the right mindset, they can make that on their own. Or even if they don't, they'll learn to be, the key in life is, no matter what you have or don't have, is to be at peace, to be
Mm.
happy, to be in harmony and balance with yourself and flow.
Mm.
So no matter what you have or don't have, if you don't have that, it doesn't even matter.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I think that we are covering a very important, on this podcast, on Bola's podcast, on the podcast that I'm inspired to have. We're covering very important aspects of humanity, and
Mm.
that's spirituality,
Mm.
mindset, energy, source.
Mm.
So the other question you asked, how can you get a hold of me? The easiest way is just, you can go through my website, which is 333 empower, EMPOWER.com. And it has all my social media links hooked on there. And there's a way that you can leave a message to me, and send a message to me. And yeah, so you just check out my website. And yep. You
Thank
can
you.
also just look up Luke Bryon Smith as well, LOOTBRYON. SMITH. You can Google that as well, because I'm the only one with that name, Luke Bryon Smith. And you can find my self-empowerment music, the music that I've been inspired to create, hip hop music. You can find that on all the platforms, Apple and Spotify and Pandora and just all that. You can listen to it and check it out.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining me today, Lute. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome, and thank you. Thank you. Thank you everyone for watching and or listening, and appreciate you. Appreciate everyone. Appreciate Bola. Thank you. You already know, I love listening to you as well as speaking to you, engaging. You always give me, feed my soul when I speak with you. This is an amazing conversation. It's always amazing. I feel like I'm elevated another notch every time we speak, every time we engage with each other. And yes, even through your book, don't forget everyone, get that book, that Daily Soul
Yes.
Bites. I got it. And it's an amazing book. It's amazing reminders. You can break it down in daily, like she suggests you do. Read a little bit every day, but I'm doing that too. But I read the whole thing first, but then I'm going back and reading everything in one soul bite a day. So
Brilliant.
yes,
Thank
amazing.
you so much. Thank you so much, Lud. I
Yes,
appreciate
yes.
you, and it is mutual. I get upgraded every time we connect. Thank you so much. And I want to thank our audience for joining us today. I do want to ask you to do you get a copy? Oops, this is not showing too well. But yeah, there it is. There it is. Daily Soul Bites. Do grab your copy and remember to leave a review. This is really about sharing higher perspectives of self, and for us to continue to align to these elements of love and light within us. Because the more familiar we are with these perspectives, the easier it becomes for us to really practice them and really continue on that journey of enlightenment. This is what really creates our best outcomes. So I encourage you to grab your copy and also to subscribe to this show, the Daily Soul Bar Show, every Wednesday for new episodes, and the occasional Saturday we have an extra episode. But every Wednesday, check us out on the Daily Soul Bar Show on YouTube. It's actually on my channel, Bola Abimbola official channel. Subscribe and share far and wide so we can have more of this content to more people all over the world. So thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of the Daily Soul Bites show. Bye bye.